Hey guys, this is Storm Productions, aka Nana 473, and I'm back in Autumn's Journey Part 6. We're just gonna continue. Once I opened the door to my house, I spotted my mom sitting at the table holding a quill over some blank parchment. I covered my mouth to muffle a squeal. You're doing it? You're writing the letter? I bounced on my heels and laughed into a tackle as I hugged my mom from behind. I peered over her shoulders. You're actually going to do it! You're actually going to do it! I'm gonna be a knight! I halted and let go, suddenly confused. Wait, what made you change your mind? My mom laughed and leaned back, flashing me a meaningful smile. Well, I did some thinking, and I thought that maybe you were right. You're ready. That's what I've been telling you. My smile was so wide it hurt. Thanks, Mom. I love you, and good night. I look forward to reading it in the morning. I dashed upstairs, determined to fall asleep. However, I couldn't help but toss and turn as I replayed the day's events. Not only Mary's questions, but I was going to become a knight once I arrived in Oliver. The task to protect the carriage could be viewed as my first duty as a knight. My first real mission. I certainly couldn't sleep now. I hugged my pillow and rolled around, unable to stop my giddiness. I'm going to be a professional knight! Do professional knights normally act like this? I don't care, I'm so happy! Oh my god, I've sounded way too... To achieve the title of a knight, one usually had to be trained at a famous school or an academy and graduate from there. Since I did not live in a big city that had such establishments, I trained solely under my mom instead, and her status and achievements were well known, which was why I needed that letter badly. If you recommended me, other captains or noblemen would probably hire me, and I would serve the Sun Moon Council. And I'd be able to see more of Ishtara outside of Barry, as a real knight. Unable to remain still, I hopped out of bed and paced restlessly. I pushed the window, not sure of what I was expecting. How are those two doing it anyway? It's not like Kerr can transform back in sleep, or how he always does. I wonder if I can find them and check on them quickly. Snatching the blanket off the bed, I wrapped it around my shoulders like an oversized shawl. Then I strapped my belt and scabbard and walked out of the door. Outside it was comfortably cool, and I found the sound of crickets and frogs soothing as I walked beside the river. I guess I was subconsciously anticipating to find Ilmari sleeping on the bank or on the water. On a whim, I entered the apple orchard. I spotted Ilmari sitting against one of the tree trunks. His ears instantly perked up, although I had the feeling he'd heard me approaching earlier. Can't sleep? Something like that. I sat down next to him. He poked the grass in front of him dejectedly. Kerr wouldn't bond with me. Huh? Bond? Dragons bond by nestling together. I thought since we were going to be travel companions despite our differences. He hated the idea though. Kerr doesn't seem like being touched in general, I can imagine. He stared at me hopefully. He stopped and tucked his knees out, his arms resting around his legs. What about you? Is it different between heavenkind? I scrambled to formulate an answer. Well, cuddling is something between family and loved ones. Hugs are more acceptable between friends. What did I know? My mind was so full of knighthood, dreams, and sword skills. In no way I was the most authoritative representative regarding heavenkind relationships. Hug. You put your arms around someone and hold them close. I mimicked an action using my blanket. He nodded in understanding. Then I guess you wouldn't, Oh dear. Oh dear. Declining Ilmari would be like rejecting a basket full of kittens. Kittens! Kittens that all looked up at you pleadingly. Kittens! Kittens are so adorable. For a few minutes, I can't stay out all night. I do need to return to my bed. I shuffled over to him until we were shoulder to shoulder and adjusted the blanket and so it draped over the both of us. It's not that cold out? Not really, it feels nice. So, forgot to ask this earlier, but why are you interested in learning about heavenkind? Because your culture is fascinating. Huh? Everything in the heavenkind do is amazing. You create things I've never seen before, and look, you can do this. He wiggled his thumbs and fingers. This so something. I laughed and mimicked him momentarily. It's true that it's true that our kinds are interacting more? I assume you've heard of it. Yes, I'd be a sort of meditator. I think you can call it a diplomat. I've already tried to help heavenkind before, but it didn't work out. It's harder than it looks. How so? Well, this one incident, they were willingly entering this monster's mouth, and there was nothing I can do about it. Wait, a monster? Yes, this strange that smells of wood and floats in the water. I've never seen it before, and heavenkind simply enter it. I nudged it a few times, but people seemed upset. Ilmari, those are boats. We use those to travel up and down the river. So it wasn't a monster. He slumped into the blanket, mortified. Oh. I patted him on the shoulder, trying to reassure him. It's okay, misunderstandings happen. You have good intentions. And now you'll be able to stop and study heavenkind at a more personal level. I'll do my best to clarify anything you're uncertain of. In return, tell me more about dragonkind. That seems fair. I'll try not to ask any more boring questions, though. I mean, what interested me didn't seem so fun for you. I'm never churning butter again. Feeling that our conversation had reached a satisfying note, I clutched the blanket and stood up. You'll be fine by yourself? Yes, I'll see you in the morning. Playfully, I dropped the blanket over him. Even a dragon might need an extra layer of warmth in a heavenkind body. Take care then. I'm sorry. As I walked back to my house, easily guided by the bright moon, I spotted Kerr restlessly pacing it by the door. Puzzled, I approached him. Need something? Ilmari's past the whitwares if you're looking for him. Nothing to do with him, but thanks for the heads up, since I can avoid him easier. You little son of a dragon! Ilmari is the most adorable little creature, and you are such a swear word. Man, you are so close on my blacklist, Kerr. I am serious. Man, you piss me off. Go away with your stupid eyebrows. I would have given him a light punch in the shoulder, but I remembered he hated contact. Mean, play nice. He'll be traveling with you after all. I hope you don't mind being stuck with me until we reach Oliver. I think we'll have fun. I'm looking forward to it. I noticed. I heard you squealing even from afar. My ears couldn't shut it out if I tried. I'm sorry. It's something I always wanted to do, and now it's the perfect opportunity. All the experience from my freelance jobs will finally pay off, and I'll be on the road to knighthood. Let's make tomorrow's task a successful one. We're guarding that something so the merchant's cargo will arrive safely in Oliver. Do you think you can handle it? He wrinkled his nose. An escort mission. Not the most glamorous duty, but it's honorable. Anyway, so I'm going to bed. I'll promise I'll stop screaming. As I was about to open the door, Kerr stepped forward. Wait, He scratched the back of his neck sheepishly, surprised by his rather modest display. I looked back at him intently. Yes? About earlier when you crammed that food into my mouth. I was joking, don't worry about it. I'm sorry if it seemed mean-spirited, it wasn't my intention. No, you're right. Huh? Kerr seemed both shocked and offended by my reaction. What I mean to say is that you did help me a little. A little? I gave you a walking stick, fed you, fought a giant bird, took a stop pig. I'm sorry, I'm back. Took you to the Alps, I got ditched, only for you to come crawling back, and I accepted you a second time. I'm starting to wonder why I did. I feed Kumpla, and he glanced away anxiously, as if dreading that I would refuse to help him now. I stuck out my tongue to appease him. Don't worry about it. Maybe I was right about me having immeasurable kindness. I'm grateful, but you extracted a bit. You're definitely not the best heaven kind has to offer. Peeled, I gave him a swift kick on the back of the leg. Ow! You're right, I'm not. But I'll definitely be the best knight. Even if I lost some kindness points with that action, I'll re-earn them tomorrow. Night, Kerr. Night. I closed the door behind me, resisting the urge to squeal about tomorrow. He's still pissing me off. Oh, next chapter. Chapter 4, to Oliver. Great. We are on our way. Map, rations. Yep, I think that's everything. Satisfied with my packing, I hurried down the stairs just as Mom was retreading the letter of recommendation, and she finished. Oh, I'm all prepared. I sure am. How's the letter? I just show it to the Argent Valor Guild, right? The Argent Valor Guild was one of the most prestigious orders in Ishterra. Words. It consisted of knights who served the Sun and Moon Council, but it also did non-military work. Oliver was the central hub for their activity. Mom had been a part of the guild all her life, so her name was well known among the younger generations of knights. Right, as long as a former knight recommends you, it shouldn't be too hard to earn the rank. Hopefully they didn't change any of the requirements. Excited, I snatched up the letter and quickly skimmed the beginning. I, Lady Hendrine Bayard, former captain of the guard, something, your titles are so, and credentials are longer than the actual recommendation. But I guess it helps since I've been training under you. I returned the letter so she could officially seal it, then I promptly tucked it into my bag, making sure it wouldn't get crinkled. The merchant venture's carriage should be ready. They already know the escort arrangements, and your father is making sure the boys don't get into too much trouble. I'm sure it'll be fine. Anyway, let's get going. You're gonna see your daughter on her grand adventure after all. I eagerly rushed out to the door, not wanting to make the others wait any longer. Wait, Aura. I halted and noted nothing of the cautious tone in her voice. Yes? She sighed and folded her eyes. Well, originally I was going to cancel this whole arrangement. Why? The merchant was rather vague about the contents he was carrying. I usually like to confirm everything with my own eyes, since it's not just for their safety, but also mine and that of any other escorts. I highly doubt the package will contain monsters or anything sinister. Are you sure you're not overreacting? I mean, this is your daughter getting involved. She paused and nodded my suggestion carefully. True, it may just be my overprotectiveness. This is the first time my daughter will go off on her own after all. She nodded mostly to herself and I accepted her agreement. Right, thanks for organizing everything. Now come on. As expected, Dad, Kerr, and Ilmari were on the edge of Berry, with the carriages stationary on the main road. Kerr was pacing while Ilmari was chatting happily with my dad. The coachman waved to acknowledge us, and I approached the open window of the vestibule. A middle-aged man sat amongst the silks and pillows. I was protecting a wealthy merchant. Mr. Amanda, was it? I'm Aurelie, and my stop calling me people. 2 seconds. Oh, sorry, I'm back. I'm Aurelie, and my companions and I will be escorting you to Oliver. I assure you that we are trained and you'll get there unharmed. The others are well versed in magic. I was pretty confident about that assumption at least. He nodded, and I was unsure if he was just nervous or reserved. Thank you. Shall we set up straight away? Of course. It's no problem. Oh shit. Maybe it was a sword. I wanted to ask about the contents, but I decided against it. My priority was getting to Oliver, the quicker the better. I made a mental apology to my mom, realizing she was worrying over nothing. Alright, I have to end the episode here. Bye!